Hi, I'm Carolyn, and I want to talk to you today about how a wrinkle is formed. First of all, a wrinkle is formed by you making repeated, what I call unconscious gestures, like squinting at the sun, over and over again, hundreds and hundreds of times a day, without thinking about it very much. And what happens is that when you do that, the skin starts to stick down to the lower layer of the skin, and it starts to create a little valley there. And over time, it gets longer and longer, and we have a wrinkle. Now, there are three layers to the skin essentially, and there's the epidermis, which is the top layer, the one that we see, then the dermis, which has a lot of good things in it where your collagen and stuff is built, and then the subcutaneous layer, which sometimes people call the subcutaneous layer of fat. And what happens is that when you're making these unconscious movements over and over again, the skin starts to adhere to the subcutaneous layer, the third layer down. Now you have to remember the skin is about the thickness of typing paper. So it's really very, very thin. And so this happens over time. So you can't make a wrinkle by doing facial exercises because you actually cannot make enough repetitions to create that wrinkle, to have that skin start to stick down to that subcutaneous layer. Now, Dr. Frederick Rossiter, he's a medical doctor that used to teach other doctors. He said that wrinkles become like scars. And so when you make these unconscious movements over and over again, and that skin adheres to that subcutaneous layer, and then that, like I said, it makes a little line. After a while, you could start to see that there's a line. You can actually de-tack that wrinkle by going on either side of it, pushing in and going back and forth until it detacks, and then you can literally rub it out. I'm going to be 75 in just a couple of months, and you can see that I have virtually rubbed out almost all the wrinkles of my face, including my forehead. And so I just wanted you to see that so that you could tell that this technique really does work. So facial exercises cannot make wrinkles. Also, wrinkles are going to happen a lot more easier when you have environmental issues like UV, sun damage, smoking, things like this, which will actually break down the tissues of the skin and make the wrinkling easier, makes the skin allows the skin to be easier to adhere to that underlying tissue. And so when you first start facial exercises, sometimes you'll see some fine lines coming out. And so people think, oh, it's making wrinkles. But actually what it's doing is it's pushing out that wrinkle that's trying to get rooted. It's a good thing because then you can really de-tack it and rub it out before it gets super rooted and it becomes an issue that you don't like. So there you go.